now we will continue, and the next step of the webinar will be to build a menu structure that we can reuse in our application. So that means we will build a menu, and then we will use that template menu in all other screens in the application. And this is to speed up the development of our application. So yet again, we open up the development tool. I will start by renaming screen number 4 by right-clicking and selecting rename. I will rename it to background, like that. Highlight it, and we will create a menu in the top left corner. So I start by adding a button object, something like this. I will zoom in so you can see it a little bit better. In the general ribbon tab, I remove the text, and in this case I would like to create 5 buttons. I could copy paste the object by using Control-C, Control-V, right-clicking and so on. However, there's a nice built-in feature that allows me to duplicate this object very quickly. So if I right-click, and from the drop-down list I can select Create Series. I want to create 5 columns, 1 row, and I want to have them closely to each other. So now I have 5 button objects. I can select all of them, and in one single action I change the shape fill to red. The next step is to add a symbol for each button. So I select the picture, browse for a file, and then I select a unique picture for each button. So alarm on the second one. We will have a list that will represent the audit trail on the 4th. We will also add a log in order for us to log in, and then there will be one that represents that we will log out later on. The final step when configuring these buttons is to select what should happen when we click on each. So as you remember, we need to define an action. Select the first button, followed by Actions, Show Screen. The first button should show screen number 1, so we don't need to change that. The second one should show screen number 2. The third one should show screen number 3. The fourth button will actually not execute a screen action, it will execute a security action. So I select Security, Log In, and on the 5th button we select that we would like to log out. Now I will just add a rectangle object to the right of the button. I want to use the same red color. I could choose that manually, but if you're not sure about the color code, I can actually select a template object, for example this one, followed by the format painter, and then I click on the object that I want to apply the visual properties to, and then you will see that the rectangle becomes red. In this area we want to display the date and time, so I add the digital clock object. I change the font color to white, and then finally we finalize this configuration here by adding a picture, a static picture, because later on we would like to visualize which user that is currently logged in. So I select the user icon. So by clicking somewhere in the screen, I can give it focus, and I will change the background color to a light gray. And 2 more steps, and then this screen is finalized. I will add one header rectangle, change the color to dark gray, right-click, copy, right-click, and paste. Here I will have a container area where I will place my objects later on. And I change the color to white. So now we have developed a very nice looking template screen. Now it's time to reuse it on the different screens in the application. So I select screen number 1, and you can see up here you can select the background. Okay, I will add a text that tells us in which screen we are currently at. The first one is home. I open screen number 2, reuse the menu again, paste my text. I write alarm history, open the screen number 3, reuse my background yet again, paste the text, and here we will later on show the audit trail. So now we have finalized. We have built the menu and we have reused it in all of the screens in the application. So I click on Project, Run, in order to simulate the application and make sure that it works as intended. So if I click on the second button, I jump to alarm history. On the third button, I jump to the audit trail. If I click on the login, I will open the login dialog. So we have developed and everything is working as expected.